What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 33 of our Brentford Career Mode, and today we start a new season, our second in the Premier League. And I know what you all are wondering. How much budget do we have? And there you can see it, £26.46 million. We have a little bit of wage budget to work with, £153,000 a week. We can probably move it up to around 30 and 72. That's probably a good ratio. And excuse me, we have a couple of things we want to do. Of course, we were talking about the squad last time out. A couple players have left. Jansen's left, Dalsgaard's left, so we're going to need a backup at right back. We're going to need another option at center back at the moment, as Guehi is going to come in to start. At the moment, this is what our starting lineup looks like, and that's what it's going to be for the moment. Now, this is going to be very much a give-and-take kind of window. Players who ask to leave or want to leave, perhaps, we're going to let go. We're going to keep this as realistic as possible with a team like Brentford. And we also, have a couple spots to fill, as we were saying. Center back, backup right back, goalkeeper as well, and then possibly right wing. So a couple of different options here, and we only have £30 million to do it. So it's going to be one of those windows where it depends on the kind of things that come in, the kind of things that go out. Everything is going to depend upon everything else, really. And if we go over here to position, we got a couple goalkeepers we're looking at. Melier is probably a little bit out of our realism range, but we got some other players on here still being scouted. At right back, we also have a couple of players. Bogle's a player I like, but to have Max Aarons at the club and then go ahead and buy someone like Bogle to back him up would kind of be weird. We're looking for someone who's 24, 25-ish, kind of like Mozo. Musavage, who's traveled around a little bit after his breakout kind of tournament and has moved to Barcelona. We got some other fullbacks here that are being scouted at the moment, so a couple of different things there. And then, of course, center back is a big one. We have a couple who are already scouted and things like that. Left back, we're not going to be looking at. Midfield, only if certain things happen are we going to go for midfield. And then right wing is a position I would like to look at. The problem currently being I don't have too many scouted, and we got some other things scouting as well, being strikers, as you can see, just in case something happens with Tony. As I said, if a really big bid for Tony comes in, he's leaving. It's as simple as that. We can't go ahead and sit around on money for someone like Tony, who's a good player, but a £70 million bid comes in. Can you really deny such a thing? I don't think so. We got a £60 million bid last summer. We were getting 40 million-ish during the January window, which is not what I'm expecting this summer, and it's not something I would go ahead and accept either. It's just not a bid I would accept. I'd rather just roll along with Tony. And here's an offer for Jensen, a player we might get rid of, a player who's a backup. A good bid comes in. We're going to delegate this a little bit higher and see what comes of it. But he's currently back up to De Silva, a player I like and I don't mind keeping around. Only going to leave for the right price. But a player we could look to, of course, replace behind De Silva and hopefully, grab something there. As an offer has come in for Josh De Silva, £42 million. Another player who I might sell, but of course that has to be higher. It'd have to be in like the £70 million range. So that's a player, as I said, I'm willing to sell, but price has to be way up there. Those two are the only players I'd need like £70 million for, I think. Max Aarons also probably on that list, but those are probably the only two that I would need that kind of money for. As we go ahead and sim again, excuse my cat, it was scratching along on something. We drew 1-1 again for the second time. Another goal given up late, which is not ideal. Not ideal. I'd like to get out of this group at least. I had a little bit of money to the transfer coffers there. His interest is in Formoso, a player I kind of liked. I was really interested. Elche bid 12 million, 32 million for Chelsea for Cash. That's okay. Cash is a player who's on the list just in case Villa got relegated that year. That we were about to come up, but it didn't really quite work out there, as we have got a load of different things coming in here. And all that we can go ahead and just kind of get rid of. Goalkeeper is one I'm 100% interested right now in. And if we go to the transfer hub, the problem being we only have 30 million pounds. So in theory, if we don't sell anybody, we kind of just need to portion that out. And how we want to do it, I'm not too sure, because some of these guys we're gonna have to kind of just work our way in, you know, work our way up to the starting job, and it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot to put 20 million pounds if you think no money's coming in, you know what I mean? As Melier is probably the best option. Bayinder's a really good option here. Bayinder's probably the best option for money currently. Bilo's a little bit too expensive for what he is. Rajkovic is also a really, really good option. So we're gonna hold off on a little bit. Kolar is a little bit expensive. So currently the best options for me would be Rajkovic and Bayinder. Bayinder is probably where I'd be leaning currently. As you can see, he's got some pretty decent stats there. As does Rajkovic, who's probably got a couple of better stats, but I believe Bayinder's ceiling, it might just be a little bit higher. 76 reaction. So actually, you know what? Rajkovic probably is the better option, isn't he? Rajkovic would be the better option. Between 18 and 19 million. They really want 19 million. We have around 30. We're just gonna hold off for just a little bit. I'm expecting some big bids this summer. I really am. And, oh, we got to put Raya on the transfer list as well. Raya is a player I'm willing to move on. So let's go to the squad and make sure we actually have all that done in terms of different things. We're going to add Raya to the transfer list. Anyone else we want to add to the transfer list? Janelle. I'm going to add Janelle and Jensen just to see what kind of bids we get, as we gotten a decent bid already in there. This lad right here, contract's expiring in 12 months. Marcondes is still here. We're going to add him to the transfer list. I thought his contract was expiring. It's not. Fosu, a player we are willing to let go. And this... we're going to do it with fours. This lad right here isn't awful or anything. And him and fours are kind of on the same level. But fours is a player I don't plan on extending. And he's a year younger, so, you know, that is what it is. So we'll see what kind of bids we do get in there. Got to make sure. Look at our whole group. Everybody on 2 played 2 points. So a win here will move on in, as West Ham are not interested in that. And Sociedad not interested in that. So that is what it is. Janelle is a bit surprised. I'm just looking at options, bud. You may be staying. You may not be staying. It is what it is. Let's see if we can go ahead and win this game and get us into the next round. That would be nice. Hopefully, we can just grab a little bit of extra money, as we do beat Osasuna 2-0. Pereira's got a bit of an injury there. Hopefully, it's nothing serious, as Sporting and Brighton draw as well, so I'm not sure who goes through there. It may just be a flip of a coin, really, that. But we do go through into the semifinals, which is good. Get a little bit of extra money into the bank. And that's nice. That is something we actually need. 1.17. Pereira broke his ankle and will be out for 3 months. That's not good, is it? That is not ideal. Luckily, we're in July, and, you know, a month and a half will be preseason, but that is not good. I do not expect to beat Porto here. But It is what it is. We should still get a little bit of money for this. As we lose right at the end again. We were up in this game as well, 2-1. Too many of these preseason games we threw away, but it is what it is. As Sporting go out as well, it's just our group that just wasn't very good by the looks of it. But we should get a little bit of money there from the Porto game as well. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. As an offer has come in for 4s already, so we also got 2.7 there, which is good. 2.05 million for 4s is the offer. I'm going to delegate this just a little bit higher. I'm kind of disappointed in the money we're going to get for 4s, but, you know, it is what it is. That's just kind of how it is at the moment. A player, I mean, there are 3 players on similar overalls kind of vying for that kind of backup spot at the moment, backup and 3rd spot. It's just a contract situation. The lads are worried that the club isn't meeting their demands. This doesn't feel like a team that's motivated to win anything this season. We're hoping you'd be able to let us know what the plans are. Thanks for letting me know. I don't know what they're thinking there. An offer has come in once again for Jensen. Same kind of price, 13.7 million here. We're going to once again delegate this and see what happens. I got 15 million. Is that what they were willing to go up to, Sociedad? Because I thought it was like 13 originally. Maybe it was 15. But we'll see. We have the summer to do it, of course, but we don't want to price everybody out of a move if everybody's, you know, interested. So it's just one of those things. As we have, oh, we are in the Europa League. We have the qualifying round for the Europa League. When is that? Next month, then. So we might be in the Europa League. A bit of Europe. Look at how our season starts. Chelsea and United. Jesus, and Leeds. Oh, look at September. Arsenal, Tottenham, and Liverpool. God, we got an awful start to this season. But it looks like we might be getting some Europa League football, which means, depth-wise, we might be looking at possibly having one more midfielder around us. Offers come in for Max Aarons. Angel Gomez and 8 million. I'm just going to flat out reject that. I'm not even going to bother figuring out how they feel about Max Aarons. I'm just not. If his value is 18 million, that's just way too low. We're going to delegate this offer up just a little bit. See if we can get another couple of million here. But having that extra midfielder now is going to be kind of important, and having that right winger is going to be important. Having all the depth we're going to need is going to be very, very important if we have Europa League football and we're kind of fighting to get into that top half area. So it's going to be a different kind of summer than I expected, but that's just a player or 2 extra you feel you want to have around. 4s is still gonna go, but I want to keep the other 2 around now, just in case. See, 18 million for Max Aarons is not the type of bids I was expecting. Even for 30 million, there'd be no way. An offer's come in for Raya for 7.5. We're gonna delegate this just a little bit. That's a pretty healthy amount for Raya. I'm going to negotiate this offer. I'm just going to try negotiating it myself because he didn't get anywhere, did he? He just flat out did not. Propose new transfer fee. What about 17? It's just not going to happen. 13.9 is not going to happen. I love how passive-aggressive they get at the end. Like everybody's wasting everybody else's time. It's not really that big of a deal, but, you know, sometimes you just can't come up with anything. It is what it is. It is what it is. But if we get if we get that Riot deal done, then we're just going to jump right in for that new goalkeeper, probably Rajkovic. Unless I really... They're again 7.5. These guys are all kind of just floating around. They put in their biggest bid right from the get-go. I know we're early in the window, but nobody's maneuvering at all, which is kind of annoying. I'm going to go to 9, and if they don't want 9, then we're going to reject this one as well. Nope. This is... Huh. These are players I don't mind keeping. Let's be honest. Raya is a player I want to move on, but nobody here is really coming halfway. Everybody feels got their valuation. Nobody's really moving along with it. And that's fine, but I'm not just going to sell for the sake of selling if that is the case. It's just not going to happen. We're going to be a little bit stingy here if we have to. But, you know, it is what it is. We're moving forward here, and we're not super far from this game against Randers FC, which I've never actually heard of before. As an offers come in, Bruges, over £1 million of left. We're going to go ahead and let Marcondes go for 1.8. That's fine. As an offer has come in for Raya. And they've come in with an offer for 7.5 million. He's worth around, I mean, I could get 8.2, but nobody's coming off 7.5, and it is absolutely infuriating. Let's see what they say. They're really not going to move off of... let's try this. They're not moving off of 7.5. That is crazy. Am I about to be bullied into 7.5? And he left angry. He came in with a number that he didn't want to change. Why come into the meeting? I called him in to negotiate. He didn't negotiate. He's just stuck on his number, which is fine. Just don't come into the negotiation. If it's a negotiation, do not come into it. Absolutely ridiculous. There's another offer's coming for Jensen. Again, 13.6. Oh my god. These people are crazy. Nobody's moving off the valuations. If these players are transfer listed, are they just not moving? The computer has a number. Why is our transfer budget so high? Oh, it's because it adds this 17 million or whatever. Let's see, 15.9. 14. Come up to 15. You can have them for 15. I can't believe this. I cannot believe what we are dealing with right now. I really cannot. This is crazy. Nobody's moving or anything. Nobody's coming in to negotiate. Everybody's just got their number. That is so crazy. We're going to need to bring someone in here. I kind of want to get a signing done today, but who? I'm not sure. As Marcondes has been sold, and an offer has come in from Embuemo from Leicester City for 34 million. Let's see what that can come to. I'm willing to sell Embuemo for 40-ish million, 45, 50 million. I'm very much willing to sell Embuemo for that. I know Brentford fans may not be super comfortable hearing that, but that is what it is. 13.7 again from Monaco, who are going to come in. I'm just going to delegate this. If you guys don't want to come off, it is what it is, but I'm not I'm just not messing around. I'm done screwing about with this. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Interest in Badiashile. Badiashile was my top contender there for at center back. I really like Badiashile. I've used him before a couple FIFAs ago. It's a player I really, really like. Not the quickest. That's too much for Tomiyasu, though. He's a really good player. What about Kehrer? I'll let Badiashile go. Kehrer is a good option there for 20 million. A player who's just not in it at PSG. Someone we can, you know, move along with, but as another offer's coming from Max Aarons, 22 million. I'm just going to ignore that. How embarrassing some of these bids. Absolutely embarrassing. I understand bids for players I have on the transfer list, but to have a bid come in there for those players, or for Aarons, I mean, that's ridiculous. Let's take a look at our U squad really quickly. See if anybody's fading away. Doesn't look like it, though. Ponce looks like he's about to. We're just going to release him. Holland looked like he's sort of about to, but I'll hold on to that just for a second. Maybe youth is somewhere we could also go. We'll see. But let's bring a player in. We're not going to go through this without bringing a player in. So let's go ahead. Go to the transfer hub. Let's Marcel. I mean, Carrera. Still only 25. Can play right back. And that's good because we're going to be having extra games this year. Teze looks like he's good as well. Ooh, he can also play right back. Younger, more potential. All right, Teze right here. Between 11 and 16. Jordan Teze. Let's see if we can bring him in. He looks like he's going to be a pretty decent option for us. Offer transfer fee. Let's go up to 11. Let's try 12 and see what they say. They want 12.3 and the sell-on clause. We're going to go remove the sell-on clause. Submit offer 12.3. They want 13.7 now. Let's see if we can go down a million. Because we have to be stingy here. 12.7 million for Jordan Teze. That seems like it's going to be a good deal. Let's go ahead and negotiate his contract. He can play right back, of course. Physicals look good. Carrera was a good option there. He's looking like a cheaper, higher potential Carrera already. It's like we got Carrera. Can we get him on rotation? We'll accept that. That's fine. He's going to be playing plenty. 5 years. That's fine. Disregard release clause, and he only wants 25k a week. I'm just going to accept it. That's fine. He can have the bonuses as well. 25k a week is not too bad, and it looks like we've bought in our fourth center back. Whether he's fourth choice, he's probably not necessarily fourth choice. Is probably going to be Pinnock. But Teze looks a good option. Let's go ahead and compare him. He's so quick. Quicker than Caceres. He'll play on the right side in theory, won't he? Better. He's just quicker. His reactions are just a touch better. Not as strong. What about it compared to Guehi? He's just better than Guehi, isn't he? We'll put Teze in there next to Caceres and see how that goes. But for the moment, we'll test out center back as we go, you know, as we move along. And we'll jump forward a couple of days and see if anything happens before the game. If nothing happens, I kind of want to look at another player anyway. We're just going to need some more depth along the forward line. And I mean out wide. As Jensen wants to play, but I kind of want you to leave, Jensen, believe it or not. 14.4 with Monaco. I'm probably just going to accept this because I'm tired of the games already. We're going to go ahead and reject that Villa offer, who just sold Matty Cash. So it looks like we're going to get 14 million for Jensen as well. Jensen, you're leaving. You're just leaving, pal. I apologize. But that means we can also bring in a midfielder. So let's go step by step here. Bring ourselves a midfielder in before that money comes our way. I'm not sure why I've gone to that. I gotta go ahead and get this guy scouted, actually. Scout him, shortlist him. Vlahovic, currently at Watford. Actually, I think he's just moved to Watford, hasn't he? That is a bit of a shame. He's a player we're looking at, but we'll have him scouted anyway. Let's go to the transfer hub and look at center midfield and see what we can find, because Jensen's about to leave. And we need a little bit more depth there. So what are we looking at here? Yangel Herrera at City. No thank you. Conor Gallagher. Decent player. These are players who we looked at a while ago. Fofana. Billy Gilmore's a decent option for something else. Ruiz, Meyer. All these are players I had scouted, and then this kind of just gone. This is a player I really, really like. Unfortunately, he's just way too expensive. Oh, he's just moved to West Ham also. That'll do it, but he's just way too expensive originally. Andre Horta. De La Cruz, a player you guys tell me to sign all the time. He's just way too expensive. And we're only kind of looking for a backup option right now. Gallagher's out on loan. So it looks like maybe we'll need to look at midfield a little bit more. Get a couple of players scouted again. Because it looks like... I mean, McAllister, it's just a bit expensive for what he is. You know, we don't want to go ahead and overspend on a player who's going to be backup. So I guess we'll hold off on that. But we'll go to goalkeeper because goalkeeper is something we can afford right now. And we'll just jump right on into it. And here he is, Predrag Rajkovic. Between 18 and 19. Let's bring him in before we end this episode here. And then we'll end it after this. And the next episode we'll be able to see our Europa League kind of thing. But here we go. Let's go down to 16 and see what they say. If they're just going to try it. Yeah, they really want 19.5. So we're just going to accept that. 19.5 million. And we're going to get our goalkeeper here. Let's negotiate his wage. Romero is probably on a bit too much money now, considering how everything is. But a good quality backup, and we can find someone else next year, of course. Let's put him on important. He wants to be crucial. That's fair enough. He's going to be the starter. 4-year contract. Kind of want to go 5. He's comfortable. Disregard release clause. And let's see what he wants for wage. He's on 22 a week now. Let's see about 30K and 400K signing bonus. He's comfortable with it. All right, not too bad there. As we have bought in our full, or not our fullback, Jesus, I just saw Mozo there and assumed fullback. We bought in a goalkeeper. So, Rajkovic up here for Raya, and now into the squad ahead of Romero. I think we got better today. There are players leaving, Jensen being one of those players. We'll bring Mitchell onto the bench for now. You I'm going to bring up a little bit, and the rest of you are probably just going to end up leaving. Jensen's going to be one who's definitely leaving. So at the moment, our squad is the 11, and then we got these 7 here, and then those 3. So we need more players. We want another winger and another midfielder to come in at least. It's going to be Probably a little bit thin, unless a crazy bid comes in for someone that we move on, but you know, it is what it is. Next episode, we'll probably get 2 games in, plus some more transfer stuff, depending on how things go. We'll get this game against Randers here, and then we'll get our first Premier League game against Chelsea, guys. But that is going to be it. I hope you folks, of course, have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. In peace.